Good day everyone, I am WINELYN ARNADO from BSc 14. So for today, I will be discussing about the two theories that tackles mainly about the human behavior. Moral development theory and the intergenerational transmission theory. Before anything else, I want to define what is human behavior. According to Google, human behavior refers to the way humans act and interact. It is based on and influenced by several factors such as genetic makeup, culture, and individual values and attitudes. The two theories that I will be discussing are supporting or representing the factors that influence the human behavior. So without further ado, let's begin our discussion.
Moral development theory.
According to Kohlberg, moral development theory focuses on how children develop morality and moral reasoning. So paano nga ba? How do people develop morality? Because of this basic question, Kohlberg developed one of the best-known theories exploring some of this basic question. And he expanded the Piaget's theory, which has two-stage process of moral development. So Kohlberg proposing that moral development is a continual process that occurs throughout the lifespan. So in-expand ni Lawrence Kohlberg ang dalawang stage process of moral development na mayroon sa kay Jean Piaget's theory. At para sa kanya, ang moral development ng isang tao ay hindi lang umiikot sa dalawang stage process, but it is a continual process throughout the lifespan.
So we have here the stages of moral development. As you can see, Kohlberg's theory has 6 stages of moral development that divided into 3 primary levels. And for further understanding, let's start with the level 1 or the pre-conventional morality. So pre-conventional morality is the earliest period of moral development. Dito papasok yung mga bata na nasa edad 0 to 7 years old, na kung saan sa ganitong edad natin ay lahat ng sinasabi ng ating mga magulang ay siya lang yung pinaniniwalaan at sinusunod natin para makaiwas tayo na mapagalitan o makatanggap ng parusa galing sa kanila. And this level is composed of 2 stages, where stage 1 is the obedience and punishment. Like what I said a while ago, to avoid getting punishment from their parents, children at this stage must obey the rules and regulations of their parents. So, lahat naman tayo ay nakaranas ng ganitong stage na lahat kung ano lang yung sinasabi ng ating mga magulang ay siya lang yung sinusunod natin. So, after the child believing that all authority is correct, they then enter the second stage, which is the individualism and exchange. So, which referred to the self-interest. So yung kung sa stage 1 ay kung ano lang yung sinasabi ng ating magulang ay siyang sinusunod at pinaniniwalaan natin, dito naman sa stage 2 ay mayroon na tayong sariling interest, sariling gustong ipursu na kagustuhan natin. So kahit mayroon na tayong sariling kagustuhang gawin, we still have the sense of the right action. So, ibig sabihin, alam pa rin natin kung ano yung tama sa mali. Na kapag gagawa tayo ng mali, ay mapapagalitan tayo o mapaparusahan tayo. Pero kapag gagawa naman tayo ng tama, ay hindi tayo mapapagalitan o mapaparusahan ng ating mga magulang. Now, let's proceed to the next level, which is the level 2 or the conventional morality. So, dito naman papasok yung mga bata na nasa edad 8 years old to 11 years old. So, during this time, adolescents and adults internalize the moral standards they have learned from their role models and from society. And this stage is also composed of 2 stages. So, we are now on stage 3, or the developing good interpersonal relationships, or also referred to as what we call good boy or good girl attitude. So, as an individual, kung gusto mong magkaroon ng mabuting ugnayan sa mga taong nakapaligid sa iyo, nasa iyo pa rin ang huling halakhak kung ano ang pipiliin mo. Maging mabuting tao ka ba o maging masama? Kung gusto mong maging mabuting tao, then magkaroon ka ng mabuting ugnayan sa mga taong nakapaligid sa iyo. Pero kung gusto mo or pipiliin mong maging masama, then may tuturing kang kaaway ng mga taong nasa paligid sa iyo o hindi ka nila gusto makasama. So the next stage is the stage 4, or maintaining social order, or referred to as law and order morality. So at this stage, people begin to consider society as a whole when making judgments. So meaning, to maintain law and order, everyone must follow the set of rules of a particular society. So everyone doing their assigned tasks or duties, and most of all, respecting authorities. So ibig sabihin, para mag-survive yung isang society or yung mga taong andon sa isang society, ay kailangan gawin nila yung mga nakatoka na responsibilidad ng bawat isa. And most of all, they must have a respect to the authority. And for the last level, we have the level 3 or the post-conventional morality, which known as the highest level of moral reasoning. So dito papasok yung edad 11 years old and above. So the two stages of this level, we have first the social contract and individual rights. At this stage, person begin to consider what makes for a good society. And as you observe, this is one step ahead of stage 4, where the main goal is to keep society functioning at all costs. So, ibig sabihin, kinukonsider na ng mga adolescents dito sa stage 5 kung ano yung nakakabuti sa isang society para mag-function ng mabuti. Halimbawa na lang kapag may nangyaring misunderstanding, they will immediately find a solution to address for this particular misunderstanding or problem. So, hindi nila hinahayaang masira lang ng dahil sa kunting hindi pagkakasunduan yung society nila na makakaapekto ito sa pag-function ng maayos. And for the last stage, we have the universal principle. So, the final stage of Colbert's theory that states moral reasoning is based on personal values. So, people at this stage have developed their own set of moral guidelines which may or may not fit the law. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa final stage na ito, dito umiiral yung tinatawag nating humanity or prinsipyo ng isang tao na kung saan yung mindset niya is ganito. Mas importante ang buhay ng kahit na sino mang tao kisa anumang bagay. So para mas maintindihan pa natin, ibig sabihin, mas pipiliin mo na iligtas ang buhay ng isang tao kahit ang kapalit pa man nito ay ang paglabag sa batas. But, hindi ibig sabihin na kapag nandito ka na sa stage na ito ay magiging masamang tao ka. Dahil ginagawa mo lang yung sa tingin mo na tama pa makaligtas ng buhay ng tao kahit sa tingin ng iba ito ay masama o hindi nakakabuti. Now, let's proceed to the next topic, Intergenerational Transmission Theory. Ang tanong, what is intergenerational transmission theory? As you can read to the definition itself, it refers to the transfer of individual abilities, traits, behaviors, and outcomes from parents to their children. So meaning, generation to generation transfer. So hindi lang pala kayamanan or house and lot ng mga magulang ninyo ang pwedeng ipapamana nila sa inyo at ipapamana nyo rin sa magiging anak ninyo. Dahil maaring ito ay ugali na meron sila, yung skills na meron sila, at yung abilidad nila. So kawawa pala yung magiging anak ng minsan nang naging marupok dahil maaaring magiging marupok din sa hinaharap yung magiging anak nila. So some of the other examples are intergenerational transmission of parenting, intergenerational transmission of violence, culture, values, at marami pang iba. So ang kasunod na tanong, how will this affect to the psychological factor of the children, especially in terms of violence? So paano nga ba makakaapekto itong tinatawag nating intergenerational transmission sa psychological factor ng isang bata, lalong-lalo na sa usaping violence? So sabi dito, child maltreatment can have devastating psychological consequences. So ang pagmaltrato daw sa isang bata ay nagkukos sa kanya ng high damage or destructive sa kanyang psychological factor. And some of the major areas which this damage can occur includes behavioral, so yung behavior ng bata ay maapektuhan din, development of identity, self-esteem, pati confidence ng bata ay maaari ding maapektuhan, and academic performance, so pati pag-aaral ng bata ay maaari ding maapektuhan.
And sad to say, because these consequences or damages may extend into adulthood. So meaning, hindi lang pala naglalas ng ikaw ay bata or hanggang ikaw ay bata, but madadala mo ito hanggang sa iyong pagtanda. So some of the consequences that may extend into adulthood include internalizing and externalizing behavior. So ibig sabihin, pag sinasabi natin internalizing behavior, sinasaktan na ng bata yung sarili niya, which is opposite to externalizing behavior, na kung saan ibang feelings naman yung sinasaktan niya. In other words, ibang tao yung sinasaktan niya. Maaring binubuli niya, or nagva-vandal siya ng kahit na saan, or ginagamitan niya ng physical aggression. And next, we have the post-traumatic stress. So ito naman yung kadalasang naranasan ng bata kapag siya ay naka-witness ng traumatic event or nakaranas na pinagbabantaan, kagaya na lang ng papatayin, gagahasain, at kahit na ano pang pagbabanta. And next, we have the alcohol abuse. I know all of us already familiar with this, so let's proceed to obesity. So obesity, it is a medical problem that increases the risk of your other diseases. So maaring ito yung maging cause para yung mag-increase pa yung risk factors ng diseases na meron ka. And to be followed by the chronic pain and the working memory problem. So pati pag-iisip mo ay maapektuhan din ng dahil sa sobrang stress at dami mo nang iniisip sa iyong sarili, so maapektuhan lalong-lalo na yung pag-iisip mo. So we are done about the consequences and damages that might occur or affect to the psychological problem of the children. So now let's proceed to the last question. So last question na guys, kapit lang at malapit na rin tayong matapos. So the last question is, what are some strategies to break the cycle of violence between generations? So ano nga ba yung pwedeng paraan na ating gawin upang matigil ito? So first, provide psychological treatment. So kung maaari ay magkaroon ng weekly or monthly check-up yung bata. Kasi halimbawa pag nakaranas siya ng problema sa kanyang pag-iisip, ay maagapan o masolusyonan agad at hindi na umabot na ito'y lumala at madadala niya pa hanggang sa kanyang pagtanda. So pangalawa, promote positive parenting and child management skills. So alam naman natin na responsibilidad ng mga magulang na alagaan at palakihin ang kanilang mga anak, lalong-lalo na ay ituwid ito sa tamang landas. So sa ganitong paraan, mararamdaman ng bata na may nagmamahal sa kanya at may mga taong may pakialam sa kanya. Hindi niya maiwasan niya yung pag-iisip ng mga bad thoughts na pumapasok o sumasagi sa isip niya dahil alam niya na may pamilya siya na andyan at handa siyang tulungan at mamahalin. So pangatlo, prevent bullying. So alam naman natin na isa ito sa mga dahilan kung bakit na-stress din yung ibang mga bata at natatakot na makipaghalubilo sa ibang tao. Dahil iniisip nila na baka sasaktan sila, susuntukin o kahit na anumang gawin sa kanila. Na kung saan isa ito sa dahilan kung bakit nawawala una yung self-confidence ng bata. So pangatlo, prevent dating violence. So ano ito guys? Ito ba yung sinasabi nilang iwasan natin ang makipagrelasyon sa mga taong mapanakit, sa taong iwanan ka lang, or sa taong paaasahin ka lang? So guys, ibig sabihin ito, yes, iwasan natin yung pakipagrelasyon sa mga taong mapanakit or sasaktan tayo physically. Kasi how much more in the future kung kayo yung nagkatuluyan at nagkaroon ng pamilya ay nagsasakitan pa rin kayong dalawa at na-witness yon ng anak ninyo. So sa ganun guys, natatakot din yung anak nyo or nagkukos din to sa kanya ng stress or takot or trauma na baka gawin din ito ng ibang tao sa kanila. And most of all guys, kapag kayo mismo mga magulang ay sinasaktan yung anak nyo, ibig sabihin nun, isa ito sa dahilan kung bakit lubusang mawawala yung self-confidence ng bata na kung saan puro takot na lang yung nasa isip niya o nararamdaman niya. At ang panghuli, change gender norms across the life cycle. So baguhin yung pamantayan ukol sa kasarian dahil ito yung dahilan kung bakit nalileft behind yung ibang mga kabataan dahil iniisip nila na hanggang dito lang sila, yan lang ang kaya nilang gawin dahil sa mga judge o panghuhusga ng mga tao na natatanggap nila. So guys, wag nating hayaan o wag tayo basta-bastang huhusga sa mga taong nakapaligid sa atin kasi hindi natin alam kung anong buong katotohanan na meron sila. At hindi rin natin alam kung ano pa ang kaya nilang gawin
na mas lalamang pa sila sa atin. So, wag natin basta-bastang husgahan, lalong-lalo na itong tinatawag nating LGBTQ+ community. That's all for today, everyone. I hope you understand and absorb some knowledge. Also, I want to leave this quotation to all of you. Just remember, you can climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. God bless everyone.